Atlanta, Georgia. January 28, 1961, 9:30 p.m. In the basement of a dark hotel, two men sat face to face. On the left, Malcolm X, national spokesman for the Nation of Islam, the most radical voice of Black America. On the right, Jeremiah Griffin, Georgia state leader of the Ku Klux Klan, the symbol of white supremacy. Between them, just a table, and the FBI's secret recording device. This meeting was never supposed to happen. When the FBI tapes leaked in 2019, the world was shocked. Because Malcolm and the KKK had made a deal. In 90 minutes, both discovered they wanted the same thing: complete separation of black and white, but for very different reasons. Malcolm wanted it for freedom. The KKK wanted it for supremacy. And the agreement made that night became one of the darkest secrets in American history. So what exactly was discussed in that room? And why was it hidden for 58 years? Subscribe now, because the stories we're about to reveal will change everything you thought you knew about Malcolm X. And we're just getting started. Harlem, New York, Nation of Islam Temple number 7. Malcolm X sat in his office with a telegram in his hand. The telegram was from Atlanta, unsigned. But the message was clear. Mr. Malcolm X, we wish to discuss matters of mutual interest. Racial separation, black nationalism. We believe cooperation is possible. Reply if interested. 9. A Southern organization. Malcolm knew immediately who a Southern organization was. The Ku Klux Klan. His assistant, Benjamin 2X, was shocked. Brother Malcolm, this is a trap. The Klan wants to kill you. Malcolm shook his head. No, if they wanted to kill me, they wouldn't send a telegram. They want something else. What could the Klan possibly want from us? Malcolm smiled, a cold smile. The same thing we want. Separation. But Brother Malcolm, we want separation for freedom. They want separation for hate. True, but the end result is the same, and maybe we can use them. Benjamin was horrified. Use the Klan? Brother Malcolm, if Elijah Muhammad finds out. Elijah doesn't need to know. Not yet. This is reconnaissance. Malcolm drafted a reply telegram. Meeting acceptable. January 28, Atlanta. Location your choice. Come alone. Malcolm X. He sent it. 3 days later, he was on a plane to Atlanta. What Malcolm didn't know, the moment that telegram was sent, FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover received a copy. Hoover wrote in the margin, "Monitor this meeting. Record everything. Do not intervene. Let them make fools of themselves." The FBI had been waiting for exactly this moment, a chance to destroy both Malcolm X and the Klan's credibility in one night. The Claremont Hotel, Atlanta, a cheap segregated establishment in the heart of the South. The basement was damp, poorly lit, with a single bulb hanging from the ceiling. Malcolm arrived at 9 p.m., alone as agreed. He wore his signature black suit, bow tie, and glasses, carried only a briefcase. Two men were waiting. One was Jeremiah Griffin, mid-50s, white, gray hair, wearing a simple suit. No Klan robes, no hood. He looked like a businessman. The other man stood by the door. Griffin's bodyguard. "Mr. Malcolm X," Griffin said, standing. Southern accent thick. "I appreciate you coming." Malcolm didn't shake his hand, just nodded. "Let's get to business." They sat. Griffin gestured to the bodyguard, who left the room. Now it was just the two of them. What neither knew, FBI agent Benjamin Kaplan was in the adjacent storage room, separated by a thin wall. He had a directional microphone aimed at their table and a reel-to-reel tape recorder running. Griffin spoke first. "Mr. Malcolm, I'll be direct. The Klan and the Nation of Islam are enemies. That's obvious. But I believe we want the same thing. And what's that? Separation of the races." Malcolm leaned back. "Go on. You preach that blacks should have their own nation, your own land, your own government, away from whites." "That's correct." "Well," Griffin smiled, "we agree." Silence. Malcolm studied Griffin's face, looking for deception, found none. "Why?" Malcolm asked. "Why do you want separation?" Griffin didn't hesitate. "Because whites and blacks cannot live together in harmony. History proves this. Biology proves this. God intended the races to be separate." "I don't believe in your God," Malcolm said. "But I believe in your conclusion. Separation is necessary, not because of biology, but because white America will never treat us as equals. So we agree on the destination," Griffin said. "We just disagree on the journey." "Exactly." Griffin pulled out a folder, opened it. Inside were maps of the United States. "Mr. Malcolm, what if I told you the Klan could help you achieve your goal?" Malcolm's eyes narrowed. "How?" "Political pressure. We have influence in the South, in state legislatures, in Congress. We could support legislation for, let's call it voluntary relocation. Black Americans who want their own territory could petition for it. We would support that petition. Malcolm was silent for a long moment. And what do you want in return? Griffin smiled. We want you to stop the integration movement. What Malcolm didn't realize, this wasn't just Griffin's idea. This was a carefully planned KKK strategy called Operation Boomerang. Use Malcolm's separatist rhetoric to undermine Martin Luther King Jr.'s integration movement. FBI documents leaked in 2019 showed the KKK had been planning this approach for 8 months, and the FBI knew about it and allowed it to proceed because they wanted both movements to destroy each other. For the next 75 minutes, Malcolm X and Jeremiah Griffin negotiated like diplomats from enemy nations. Malcolm saw you say you'll support our petition for territory. What territory? Griffin, we propose 5 southern states, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, and South Carolina. These states have the highest black populations. We would support federal legislation allowing black Americans to relocate there and establish self-governance. Malcolm saw you's currently living there. Griffin would relocate north and west, with federal compensation. Malcolm saw you think white Southerners will agree to that. Not all, but enough. Mr. Malcolm, many whites are tired of the integration fight, tired of the violence, tired of federal troops enforcing desegregation. If you offered them a way out, peaceful separation, many would take it. Malcolm considered this. It aligned with Nation of Islam's teachings. Elijah Muhammad had long preached that blacks should have their own land. Malcolm, you want us to do? Griffin publicly opposed Martin Luther King, opposed the sit-ins, opposed the Freedom Riders, opposed integration. Malcolm, I already do that. Griffin, we know, but we want you to do it louder. We want you to call integration a betrayal of the black race. We want you to say that King is a puppet of white liberals. Malcolm, I already say that too. Griffin, we're on the same page. There's a problem. Your organization lynches black people. Your members murdered Emmett Till. How can I work with murderers? Griffin, Malcolm, I won't defend every action every Klansman has taken. Some are undisciplined. But understand, the violence will continue as long as integration is forced. Separate the races, and the violence ends. Malcolm, that's a convenient justification for terrorism. And you're a convenient idealist, Mr. Malcolm. You want a perfect solution in an imperfect world. I'm offering you a practical path to what you claim to want. Take it or leave it. Long silence. Malcolm opened his briefcase, pulled out a document, slid it across the table. Malcolm, this is a proposal. The North American Islamic State, our vision for black self-governance. Read it. If your organization can genuinely support this, not just in words but in action, then maybe we can talk further. Griffin took the document, scanned it. Malcolm, we're serious people, Mr. Griffin. We're not interested in symbolic gestures. If you want our cooperation, we need to see real political support. Legislation, funding, land surveys. Griffin, that will take time. Malcolm, we have time. We've waited 400 years. Griffin stood, extended his hand. Malcolm hesitated. For 5 seconds, then shook it. The handshake lasted 3 seconds, but it would echo for 58 years. FBI agent Kaplan, listening in the next room, wrote in his report, 10:47 p.m. subjects shook hands. Agreement reached. This is the most significant development in domestic extremism I have witnessed in my career. Both organizations are now tacitly allied. Recommend immediate surveillance escalation. The FBI now had exactly what they wanted. Evidence that Malcolm X was collaborating with America's most hated terrorist organization. 6 days later, Martin Luther King Jr. sat in his Atlanta office reading an FBI report that had been anonymously delivered to him. The report detailed Malcolm's meeting with the KKK. Martin was furious. He immediately called a press conference. I have learned, Martin said to the assembled reporters, that Malcolm X, spokesman for the so-called Nation of Islam, has met secretly with leaders of the Ku Klux Klan. They have discussed cooperation to oppose the civil rights movement, cooperation to oppose integration. The reporters were stunned. Dr. King, one asked, are you certain of this? I have seen documentation. Malcolm X has betrayed the movement. He has aligned himself with our greatest enemy. What do you want Malcolm to do? Deny it, Martin said. If he can, but I don't believe he can, because I believe it's true. And if it's true, Malcolm X is not a civil rights leader. He is a collaborator with white supremacy. The next day, Malcolm held his own press conference. Dr. King calls me a collaborator, Malcolm said, smiling. Let me be clear, I will collaborate with anyone, black, white, or purple, who supports black self-determination. The Klan wants separation. So do we. We don't agree on why, but we agree on what. Are you saying you're working with the KKK? I'm saying the KKK is more honest than white liberals. White liberals say they want integration while they live in all-white neighborhoods and send their kids to all-white schools. The Klan at least admits they don't want us around. I respect that honesty. So you did meet with them. Malcolm paused. Then I meet with many people. I explore every option for black liberation. If that offends Dr. King's integrationist sensibilities, so be it. It wasn't a denial. It was a confirmation. The black community was divided. Some supported Malcolm's pragmatism. Others were horrified. The NAACP issued a statement. Malcolm X does not speak for the civil rights movement. But Malcolm didn't care. He had never claimed to. Intelligence. It was strategic manipulation. FBI documents from 2019 show Hoover deliberately leaked the Malcolm KKK meeting to King to intensify the split between integrationists and separatists. Hoover wrote, "Let them destroy each other. We win either way." The FBI was orchestrating a civil war within the civil rights movement. For 3 months, Malcolm waited for the KKK to deliver on their promises. Political support, legislation proposals, land surveys. Nothing came. In May 1961, Malcolm sent a telegram to Jeremiah Griffin. "Where is the support you promised? We held up our end. Your turn." Malcolm X. Griffin's reply came 2 days later. "Our leadership has decided cooperation is premature. Internal resistance too strong. We withdraw from agreement." Months, JG. He called an emergency meeting with Elijah Muhammad. "Elijah, the Klan lied. They never intended to help us. They used us to undermine King, and now they're walking away." Elijah was calm. "Malcolm, I warned you. You cannot trust the white man. Not the liberal, not the racist. Neither wants us to be free. So what do? We continue building our own nation, without anyone's help, as we always have." Malcolm learned a hard lesson that day. In the game of racial politics, everyone lies. And the only people you can trust are your own. But the KKK's betrayal had a deeper reason that Malcolm never discovered. FBI pressure. Documents show the FBI threatened to expose KKK leadership's tax evasion and criminal activities unless they terminated all contact with NOI. The FBI had used Malcolm and the Klan against each other, then forcibly separated them to prevent any real alliance. Hoover's note. Mission accomplished. Both organizations discredited. Neither trusted by their own communities. February 2019, 58 years after the meeting. A former FBI archivist named Robert Chen leaked 127 pages of documents to the New York Times. Included, complete transcript of the Malcolm X KKK meeting, audio recordings, FBI surveillance reports. The story went viral. Historians were shocked. The public was divided. Some said Malcolm was a traitor. Others said Malcolm was a pragmatist, trying every option. The Nation of Islam issued a statement. Brother Malcolm was exploring all avenues for black liberation. He was never allied with the KKK. This was reconnaissance, not collaboration. But the tapes told a different story. Malcolm had negotiated, had shaken hands, had agreed to explore cooperation. Dr. Peniel Joseph, historian at University of Texas. This meeting reveals the complexity of Malcolm X. He wasn't just a firebrand. He was a strategist, willing to talk to anyone, even his enemies, if it might advance black self-determination. Was it wise? Maybe not, but it was consistent with his philosophy. The most shocking revelation in the 2019 leak. A second meeting had been planned for April 1961. FBI documents show Malcolm was scheduled to meet with 3 different KKK state leaders in Birmingham. But the meeting was canceled after the Freedom Riders were attacked in May 1961. The KKK couldn't risk being seen cooperating with Malcolm while simultaneously bombing buses. The collaboration was deeper than anyone knew. February 21, 1965. Malcolm X was assassinated. 3 Nation of Islam members were convicted. But conspiracy theories persisted. FBI involvement, CIA involvement, even KKK involvement. The 2019 tapes added fuel to the fire. In March 2019, a researcher found a memo dated February 7, 1965, 2 weeks before Malcolm's death. The memo was from Jeremiah Griffin to FBI Atlanta office. Malcolm has violated our 1961 understanding. He has publicly criticized the South. He is now a threat to our interests. Recommend monitoring. What understanding? The agreement had collapsed in 1961. Why would Griffin care what Malcolm said in 1965? Unless, Alicia Simmons. This memo suggests ongoing contact between Malcolm and KKK elements between 1961 to 1965. If Malcolm was still perceived as being in some kind of relationship with the Klan, even just communication, it would have given the Nation of Islam more reason to see him as a traitor. Did the 1961 meeting contribute to Malcolm's 1965 assassination? We may never know for certain. But the tapes prove one thing. Malcolm X's relationship with America's racial landscape was far more complicated than history books admit. The final bombshell from the 2019 files. 3 weeks before his death, Malcolm told an associate, recorded by FBI wiretap, "I made a mistake in 1961. I thought the Klan could be used. I was wrong. You can't use the devil uses you." Malcolm had regretted the meeting, but by then the damage was done. Too many people, no FBI, KKK, knew about it, and they all had reasons to want him dead. Today, 63 years after that basement meeting in Atlanta, the question still divides historians. Was Malcolm X a traitor for meeting with the KKK, or was he a pragmatist exploring every option for black liberation? The answer depends on who you ask. Martin Luther King's supporters say, Malcolm betrayed the movement by legitimizing the Klan. Malcolm's supporters say, Malcolm was willing to talk to anyone, even enemies, if it advanced black freedom. That's not betrayal, that's strategy. The FBI says, we were just monitoring domestic extremists. But the tapes reveal a fourth truth. Everyone was using everyone. The KKK used Malcolm to undermine King. Malcolm tried to use the KKK to get land for black people. The FBI used both to destroy each other. And in the end, Malcolm died. The KKK continued. The FBI continued. The only question left, who really won that night in Atlanta? Was Malcolm X right to meet with the KKK? Can you negotiate with your greatest enemy if it might help your people? Or was Martin Luther King right, that some enemies can never be trusted and meeting with them only legitimizes their hatred? Write in the comments.